Hey guys, this video will talk about how to analyze a stock. With this one, we're going to start with Microsoft Corporation. This is for any investor, retail investor that just is trying to get an understanding of how to read um, a, a stock table. This one we pulled off of Yahoo Finance. We're analyzing Microsoft. It's on the NASDAQ ticker MSFT. So I'm going to start here. The previous close there you can see is 144.26. So that means that the Microsoft stock closed the previous trading day, which would have been Friday, November 8th, at $144.26. The next one down is the open price. That's the price that the market maker sets the stock at to open the trading day. So when the Wall Street opens, the market opens at 9:30 Eastern Time, 6:30 Pacific Time. They're going to start this stock. They opened it at $143.98. Now you see the bid is the next one down. Bid and ask is important. If you're a retail investor, trader, think of the bid price. That is the price, the next available buy order. So that's the price that the market maker will buy your stock back from, or any investor that puts in a buy order. So in this case, you see the 146.11 times 1100. That means that there are 1,100 shares. Somebody's bidding 1,100 shares at $146.11. The ask is the price that if you go in and buy it and you want that uh, stock order immediately executed, you're going to get filled if you place your limit order at the ask price. That is the next best available price for sell orders. So right now there are 1,300 at the end of the close trading day of November 8th. There were 1,300 shares that were being offered at $146.10. Um, Now the days range, that's in a trading day. It starts, the low of the day was 143.76. The high of the day was 145.99. The 52-week range. So if you take a look back at the last trading day 1 year ago, um, all the way to today, so you go back to November, say this November 8th, 2019. You go back November 8th, 2018, all the way until November 9th of 2019. That means that the Microsoft stock traded at a low of 93.96. It traded at a high of 145.99. Now the next one you see down there is the volume. That is the total number of shares that total number of Microsoft shares that traded for that day. Now that is a combination of buy and sell. For every buyer there has to be a seller, and vice versa. So Friday, November 8th, there were 16,225,971 Microsoft shares that were traded. The average volume, this can vary. It can be the last 10 days, the last 20 days, what have you. That is the average volume. Typically, I think Yahoo Finance does average volume of the last 10 trading days, meaning on average that there were about 23.3 million Microsoft shares that were traded. So you can see that on Friday, November 8th at the close, during that trading day, it was a little less light volume, meaning that there was less trading activity in Microsoft stock. Market cap is the total number, that's the total value of all the Microsoft shares. So right now it's up there, it's $1.114 trillion. Think of market cap this way: if I have 1 million shares of stock outstanding, and say that the price is trading at $20, then I would have a $20 million market cap. So in this case, you take the 145.96, multiply it by the total shares outstanding of Microsoft stock, and you get the market cap. Beta is a risk-adjusted metric depending on the quote-unquote riskiness of the stock. Betas, the S&P trades around 1. If you have just a kind of median risk level, you're going to be around 1. Anything less than 1, meaning it's less risky, less volatility in the price of the asset. That is a three monthly. That's a monthly metric for Microsoft stock. The PE ratio, that is the price to earnings, and you see the parentheses there, TTM, that means trailing 12 months. The price to earnings, 27.5. Think of price to earnings as if I have a stock that trades at $100 and the earnings per share, say, is $10 per share, that is net income per share, say it's $10, then my price to earnings ratio would be 10 in that case. So you can see there, if you divide the closing price of Microsoft stock, 145.96, divide it by the earnings per share of 530, and you're going to get that PE ratio of 27.54. Now, this is important to, when analyzing the value of a stock, look at kind of the broad market indexes, say the S&P, say the Dow Jones Industrials. You can take a tech index of tech stocks, kind of look at the overall price to earnings ratio. That'll give you a good sense of where the value of the stock is in comparison, give you a relative value in comparison to what say an index is trading at. So let's say hypothetically that an index were trading at 20 PE and say this stock was trading at 27.54, that would tell you that, hey, Microsoft stock might be a little overvalued. If on the other hand, say, you have an index that's trading around 30, then maybe Microsoft stock is a little undervalued. Historically, the S&P 500 has traded kind of in that 20 to 30 range. That's kind of on the high end. If you take an inverse value of that, you can take what's called the earnings yield. If I have a stock in this case, say that there's earnings per share of 5 and the stock trades at 100, the price to earnings in that case would be 20, and the earnings yield in that case would be 5%. So that can give you a good idea of kind of what where a stock is valued at. So if I have a 30-year treasury yield that yields say 3%, I have a stock that's at a 5% earnings yield, then obviously I'm getting a little bit more return on my money for a stock. Now you take a dividend value of say a basket of stocks, say the Dow Jones or the S&P, that'll give you another good way to kind of measure where a stock's value is at. Now the next one down is earnings date. That is kind of the estimated, the next quarterly earnings from Microsoft will probably be somewhere in that range of January 28th, 2020 to February 3rd, 2020. You can see the next one, the forward dividend and then the yield. Now forward is the expected dividend that Microsoft is expected to pay out based on the last dividend payout. So in this case, if Microsoft pays roughly 51 cents per share per quarter, then that would tell you that that forward dividend is going to be somewhere in the range of $2 to $2.04 per share. Now you can see the yield. If you take the expected annual dividend payout and you divide it by the stock price, you get that 1.41%, which is the dividend yield. Now the ex-dividend date, that is the date that the dividend is expected to be paid. So all the shareholders will receive a dividend on that date of November 20th, 2019. 1-year target estimate, that is a accumulation of estimated price targets set by stock analysts that cover the stock. That can vary kind of depending on what site you're looking at. I don't like that metric so much, just because that can be kind of arbitrary and you don't know exactly what each site, kind of what analysts they're using. So I always like to look at, say, a discounted cash flow valuation, something like that for a company like Microsoft, or you can look at kind of the earnings multiples in comparison with other, compare other stocks that are good comparisons. I'll go over more of how to construct a discounted cash flow model in another video. But for now, whenever you pull up a stock, say you own some of the stock, through your 401k, maybe you're an employee of Microsoft or what have you, this will just kind of give you a good rundown of what all these numbers mean. So thank you for watching, and we'll look forward to seeing you on the next video.